Peter Stoiano.
So I'm concerned. So one of the things that was told to me today is that he overdosed the other night. Don't say anything. Don't say a word. He was in here last time. I had no proof, and I'm talking a couple times ago. He's walking around there. I was not going to violate due process rights. But at this point, he probably needs to go to jail.
In Judge McNally's court, we have a defendant who ODs 12 days after leaving treatment. This judge is not happy. Will Judge McNally send him to jail? Let's find out.
People against Pantelis Peter Stelio Stoiano, file number 23F239001.
Gabriel Lacey on behalf of the defendant, Your Honor.
Your name, sir?
Peter Stoiano.
So I'm concerned. So one of the things that was told to me today is that he overdosed the other night. Don't say anything. Don't say a word. So we could do a bond revocation hearing. He could sit in jail for a while. Before I get around to sentencing him, I could set that way down the line. He was in here last time. I had no proof, and I'm talking a couple times ago. He's walking around there. I was not going to violate due process rights. But at this point, he probably needs to go to jail before he kills himself. Call in Ms. Wilds, please. How old are you?
30.
I knew you were 30 before I asked the question. You don't want to make 31, huh? You don't want to make 31? The ancient age of 31, you don't want to make it that long?
It's not true, Your Honor.
Well, then you're going to play around with this stuff? I mean, it's like Russian roulette with that junk.
It is. Trying very hard.
Well, you better try harder. You better try a lot harder. I see they're recommending inpatient. What is the position with that? Let's start by asking, have there been any material additions, corrections, or deletions?
No, Your Honor. Your Honor is aware of what happened on Monday. But he did complete an inpatient treatment. He was clean for.
Yeah, when?
He just got out.
I know, tell me, sir.
That was the 12th of this month.
So here's what happens. How long were you in again? 21 days or something?
25 days.
So guess what happened when you didn't use for 25 days? Guess what happened?
My tolerance went down.
Thank you. And then what happened when you used?
I found a bag in my underwear drawer, and that's all I remember.
Used it, and then you almost died. And that's when it happens.
I didn't go looking for it, sir. That's the truth.
You still had it in your drawer.
I know it. I know it.
You should have flushed it down the toilet.
I should have.
What do you mean you didn't go looking for it?
He was recently home from rehab for a couple weeks, and he had been clean for 40 plus days, and he was cleaning out his room. He now no longer
Cleaning
lives
out
there.
his room. Why were you moving out?
In the process, yes, sir.
To go where?
His sister has stepped up to try to help him through his recovery. Her atmosphere is a lot different than where he was, and so he was preparing to move in with his sister, which he does stay with now. And unfortunately, he found that in the process. And
Is Ms. Wilds on her weight team?
she was in Hessen's courtroom when I left to come down here. Your Honor.
It's already done. Put the file on the desk. Yeah, we need to do that. Thank you. She's on her way.
You got kind of smart with me in here once too. You want to get smart?
No, Your Honor. I wasn't in my right mind. I would never do that with a straight mind, especially to you.
Well, don't worry. It's not me, it's the system.
I know I've known you for my whole life though. So
How have you known me? You have to enlighten me.
my father's known you. He had the Flat Rock restaurant, Flat Rock Cafe for years. I've come in here with him. I've been in here as a child. I would have never disrespected you in your courtroom with a straight
It's not
mind.
my courtroom. I hate when people say that. I mean, it's not my courtroom. It's not my courtroom.
I would never disrespect you as a man with a straight mind.
It's not about me. It's about the system. It's about
Yep.
your respect for authority, your respect for the judicial system. Your name?
Elizabeth West.
What
Probation.
am I going to do with him? Does he go back inpatient, do you think?
For me, it's one or the other when it comes to jail. I am afraid for Peter, for his
So
life,
am I.
rightfully so. And I'm afraid that if he does not do something that's going to be in-house, whether that be treatment or jail, he's going to kill himself. He's going to be a threat to himself. The overdose just being 2-3 days ago is very scary. And I would love to have Peter.
How long till we could get him in a bed?
He would have to go through his insurance. The last time he went inpatient, I believe it was at Personalized Nursing Lighthouse. He might have to correct me if I'm wrong. I don't have the probation file in front of me. I think it took Peter 7 days through his insurance to get in there with the bed available.
So maybe he needs to go to jail for 7 days and then.
And if the commitment is specific, the jail just came down with some new wording that I know Mrs. Zawacki's aware of. They do have pickup, so the jail can release him into treatment once his bed is available, if that's an option.
That came through yesterday, and I was busy yesterday, and I did not get a chance to read that.
Mhm.
Do you have that language off the top of your head?
I don't have it off the top of my head. It had to do with naming the specific treatment agency that's going to pick him up that would have to be on the commitment. So if he doesn't know what that is now, it is something that, and Lisa would have to correct me, I don't do those commitments. Might be able to send an updated commitment with the name of the treatment agency. But they are going to require, in order to release him into treatment, they're going to have the name of the treatment agency that would be picking him up. I do know that.
I really think you need sobriety court. I really think you need sobriety court.
Yeah, I will say my recommendations on the screening assessment or PSI were based off of, obviously, prior to some use as well as this overdose, Your Honor. I don't disagree with you that Peter would benefit from an intense program.
So my dilemma, I suppose, here is that I don't want to let him out. If we're going to go the sobriety court route, I'm not going to end up sentencing him today. I don't want him walking out of here. I want him going to jail and then directly to the treatment center and the bed's available. You understand what I'm saying?
I do. I'm not sure what the court's availability is. Peter would possibly be able to call his insurance right now.
Why don't you do that? Go call your insurance carrier, see when you can get into treatment. The sooner the better for you, because you don't want to be sitting in Dickerson or some other facility. This is a Flat Rock case, which I suppose is better. I'm not sure. So you go call and then you come back in, talk to your lawyer. Ms. Lacy, talk to Ms. Wilds and
Okay,
help me out with this, okay?
we'll do, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, we'll see you back here. Thank you. I started sentencing Mr. Stylano this morning, and he was going to check into inpatient treatment. What did he find out?
So, of course, he had services already set up with Lighthouse, but that was outpatient. he contacted them and they have a week's waiting list. However, Wayne County Integrative Services is waiting for his call to do an intake so that they can get him in a bed tonight. When the order comes from the court, jail or inpatient, they can open up a bed. I'm not sure if it's going to be at Lighthouse, but they open up a bed at one of the inpatient facilities in the area.
Sobriety house too. It's open.
And Sobriety House is another place that's open. I would like to let the court know that his sister Stephanie is here, whom he moved out of his parents' house and into her home. She was very advocate in getting a lot of the things set up for him before coming to court today. He's got a therapist. He has appointments lined up already for tomorrow. However, I understand the court's concern, definitely, in wanting to make sure he's somewhere safe today and not just out on the street. But his sister has gone through great lengths to try to set up a home where he can do recovery in that's not toxic, and getting him services to help him with that process. Unfortunately, the Monday he was moving out to go to there, and unfortunately he was still in that toxic environment. But his sister has done a lot to create an environment where he can be successful in rehab, Your Honor.
Ms. Tessino, your name?
Emily Tessino on behalf of probation.
So this is where, with the inpatient, it always becomes difficult. I'm afraid to send them home.
Me too.
They're saying they think they can get in place tonight. I just want to hear any thoughts you might have.
Without the screening, they're not going to be able to place him anywhere. So, I mean, we can set him up with a phone somewhere to call here. Often, if you tell them that you're in jail, they magically find a screener. But until he does that screening, the county won't fund him to go anywhere.
I did not get a chance to read that order that we received yesterday.
The police report?
No. They sent something, the court administrator said something late yesterday.
I have it, Judge.
What does that say? Can you tell me, or do you want to read it, or do you want to bring it down?
I can read it to you.
Okay.
It says the court order must include the type of treatment ordered, treatment facility that the inmate shall be released to, and the order must also identify the court funding source that the treatment facility shall invoice.
And he has insurance through who?
It's Medicaid insurance, happen powered.
So
When I talked to Sobriety House on the phone, they said I can walk in between 4 and 7 today to do an intake, and they can have a bed ready for me tonight. That's what they told me on the phone. I asked if I needed to speak to anybody over there. The lady from the 800 number and from intake told me they'll do my screening and my intake when I get there. It's on the boulevard, so I don't know how nice it is, but it's probably better than jail, and I'm willing to do it. Miss Lacey wasn't lying about my sister either. She's a wonderful woman. She's pulled me out of the jungle. I wasn't in a good place over there at that house, and I am in a better environment. And I don't have a cell phone. I don't have a vehicle. It's just, it is what it is. She's helped me set up all my my outpatient. She's been taking me to meetings every day. Done everything she can possibly do as a sister to help me in this time.
So here's how I'm going to do it. I'm going to have him report to service jail term tomorrow at 8:30. And that's going to be a 30-day jail term. If he's inpatient by then, his 30-day jail term will be suspended if he successfully completes an inpatient stay of at least 30 days. So if you walk out of there or it's less than 30 days, you're going to start your jail term. Do we understand one another?
Yes, Judge.
If I let everybody finish. Do you see anything wrong with me framing the order that way?
I do not. The only suggestion I would like to make is I think it would be wise if after inpatient transitional housing was considered, you know, we've kind of been down this road with Peter before, and in light of everything that happened, you know, I do want to see him be successful. And it often is a big shock to go from that inpatient bubble to the real world, whether it's his parents' house, his sister's house, you know, the temptation is there.
I do think that, I do understand, Ms. Tessino's concerns, Your Honor. I do think that he will be released to a totally different environment this time, though, with his sister.
Well, if I let you finish, sir.
Yes, Your Honor.
20 months probation. You cannot leave the state without the consent of the court or violate any law or ordinance. If you change your address, your place of employment, or home telephone number, you must notify probation. You have to report as directed. You're not to return to any Dollar General store, specifically 25702 Gibraltar Road in Flat Rock again, or any Dollar General store. No alcohol. You're not to purchase, possess, or consume alcohol or illegal drugs or marijuana. You're to submit to chemical testing, PBTs, and ETGs. And this will start the day he gets out. So we're not starting anything until the day you get out in terms of testing. 2 times weekly for 3 months, then weekly for 2 months. Then if you're clean, I'm going to make it bi-weekly for the duration of probation. You're to serve a 30-day jail term. You're to report to serve your jail term at 8:30 in the morning tomorrow on March the 24th. If you are inpatient by that time, your 30-day jail term was suspended if, but only if, you successfully complete a inpatient stay of at least 30 days. If you walk out of there or it's a 12-day program, sorry, it doesn't count. Fines 100, cost 50, 75, victims' rights $50, justice assessment. So your fines and costs there amount to $275, screening fee is $60 for $335, probation fees are $400, your total $735. If you violate, your probation could be revoked, you could be incarcerated for 90 days. I'm gonna worry about the transitional housing later. Let's see how he's doing. You have 21 days to appeal, 14 days to apply for a court-appointed lawyer. Kratom poppy seeds and CBD oils, by the way, are prohibited. If you consume food or other items containing those substances, it will be deemed a violation. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Can you pay all of this today or you need time?
Need some time.
I'll let you pay $50 a week. I'll start this beginning on May the 5th. If you need more time, I'm easy. Just call me. Call the court, 8:30 in the morning. I'll work with you. I have no problem. If we have to do that 20 times, I'll do it. But don't you dare ignore me. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
You got to get yourself some help before you die. I mean, this is scary. What night was that you had the overdose?
Monday night.
This is Thursday. We could be going to your funeral today. I'm telling you, this is nothing to play around with. No, drugs now. I don't get it.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you very much. I wish you well, young man.
Thank you, Judge.
Do not go get drunk, high, under the influence, use any kind of drug today. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll need the paperwork showing that you're in tomorrow, or else I'm gonna send the police out to get you.
All righty.